Shannon fucking Devaughn.
That's your middle name.
That is your middle name. Do you remember how we met?
I I can give a guess.
Yeah, where do you think it was?
Was it in the Wilma? Or was it in the halls of Terra?
No, it was at a like little fundraiser event that some like MTs in your grade were throwing, I think.
Okay. Do you remember what it was called?
I couldn't tell you, man, but it was my freshman year.
Okay. So how did we meet? Tell me. I don't remember.
Well, I mean, literally, you just started talking to me, and then
Yeah, as I do to everybody.
you were like, let's get coffee and let's talk about acting, let's talk about the school and all this stuff, and you were really really helpful, and we talked, and you gave a lot of good advice. And yeah, like that's just kind of showing the person that you are.
Ah, I realized I'm also recording in the wrong mode. So
Great.
I realized I'm supposed to be recording. I mean, I'm supposed to be filming in this mode. So
There we go.
everything we've just recorded is useless now. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. I mean, that I'm still that way. I hope. I just try to be helpful and hope when I can. But wow, yeah, I forgot all about that. I can't, and not the coffee part, but I don't remember the fundraiser. But yeah.
So I kind of want to know about like the origins of what got you interested in pursuing, what you do and what you ended up majoring in at UArts.
Musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, I did theater after school in middle school, 6th through 8th grade. But it was drama club. I mean, it was like not to devalue it, but it was not like class. But God, we had so much fun. We would put these plays together, and some were published. Some one year, I think it was my 8th grade year, maybe 7th grade. These kids, well, I say kids, I mean I was the same age, but God, they looked so much older. They were well, no, maybe it was 7th grade and they were 8th graders, but I remember looking at them being like, God, they look like they're 40. So it's so weird. They were old looking 8th graders, and they made this, it was a mafia script, and we did that one year for middle school, and I'm sure it was a complete ripoff of Goodfellas, The Godfather, and Sopranos. So that was always, a blast. We would do that. And my first role, I played this dog that loved Oreos, or this kid that thought he was a dog. I believe the play was 15 or 16 Reasons Not to Do a Play or something like that. Great first play.
I've seen you have some like close connections to certain professors at UArts as well as students, of course. But were there any like acting methods or tools that were taught to you at UArts that like really stick with you to this day?
Honestly, Chester, I think like I was a terrible student. Like I'm just gonna say that flat out. Like there were so many professors and instructors at UArts that like all they wanted to do was teach me and help me become a better performer, and I was just a fucking sad sack of garbage. That's really oversimplifying it. I was just depressed and didn't know how to handle it, and I should have just gone through and gotten help. But so that's a big part of it. But I think that in terms of acting, I think the biggest thing that helped, honestly, was probably in my first year was something called setting up your roller coaster. And setting up the roller coaster is like, it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of take a scene. The way you approach a scene is sort of break it down into the beats and get it all set up. And then once you've set up your roller coaster, you trust yourself and you just take the ride. You don't try to think about the roller coaster the entire time when you're on it. You just trust that you've done the work, and that, you living and reacting truthfully in the circumstances um, is enough.
A lot of the stuff that you've done has paid off. And are you allowed to comment on a project that you've done recently?
You're making it sound bigger than what it is. The Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's kind of big.
It is big. I don't mean to hate on it because it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, do you want me to just kind of talk about what I did on it, or what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, the first thing is like, are you allowed to talk about it in an interview like this that's going to be posted on YouTube, before it comes?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about any plot points or anything crazy. I mean, I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't think I ever signed an NDA, but I don't think I don't think there's any info that I could give that would tell you anything about the plot enough that I would get slammed by a lawyer. So
Mhm.
it's fine. Yeah,
All
of
right.
course.
Yeah, feel free to reveal whatever you want that won't embarrass Adam Sandler.
I can't. There's nothing I could tell you. He's such a sweet guy. So, I would say so. I had two days on set. Well, one day and one overnight. So I guess 2 days, whatever. But um, they were both uh, awesome experiences. One was really tough. The overnight was really tough. I'd never done an overnight. They were both my first. I really got the full background experience both times. Well, my first day was the day shoot. That was my first ever real background gig. And then my second day was an overnight, and that was my second ever background gig. So I just like nailed it right away. It's like, this is what it's like being a background actor on an Adam Sandler film, because it's all different. But it was cool. So we shot in the Philly area in a gymnasium, and we all had to meet, and we got on a bus, and we all were there together. And not accidentally, funnily, I ran into a friend I haven't seen from college, Robert. What's up, Robert? If he sees this, and we've been closer friends since then. And I mean, I need to hang out with you. I know he's probably literally never gonna see this, so it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying it. So we got on a bus, and we all showed up. We had you know to get checked in and get our costumes checked out. At that point, I had not received like word about what we were supposed to wear. But I just kind of dressed nice. I did like a white button down, a black. No one cares. I just nice, and got it checked out. And then so the first thing the costume designer goes is, "Did you get the approved costume wear?" And I was like, "What?" She goes, "Oh, okay." And so it was just one of those things. I just was like, I could tell that I was brushing with people who they do this all the time, and it was like I could see how I could look at it and go like, "Oh fuck, these guys are annoyed." But I was just excited because I was like, these people do this shit for a living. So I got checked in, and they checked my costume out, and it was fine. And we filed into the gym, and it was just like I was told, I was prepared. It's a lot of waiting. Even when you're not doing background, it's a lot of waiting. And then we end up being able to chat for a while, and end up talking to Robert. And I'm looking at Robert, and we're chatting in the gym on the sidelines. And while we're talking, he just kind of goes like looking over there, like someone's over there. I'm not thinking it's what he's thinking. I'm just like, what's over there? Turn around, it's Adam Sandler, like 15 feet from me. And I turn back at him, and I'm like, "Ugh." And I'm like, dude, it's him. Like, it's the guy. And obviously he has his mask on, but it's him. And he walks by and says, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And he goes back to his like video village in the corner, and he just starts playing music, which I was already prepared for, because on the way there, Rob, who had done a lot of other days, was talking about. He was very chill. He would play basketball with us and play music, and he did the same thing. He played music whenever they weren't shooting, and it was a fun day. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of waiting, but we got to see them do take after take of certain things and move the camera around, and there was a crane camera. And then it was a long day, though. Don't get me wrong, it was a long day. And then we got to do it again. This time it was overnight at an airport. Again, a lot of waiting. But this time I got a scene that's a little closer to him. I kind of walk right behind him if they use that scene. And let me tell you, he is super down to earth, just loves making movies. And I'll say that it just feels like, I don't know if he's the one that orchestrates this, but I'll just say he, the royal he. It just feels as though his production team is everybody that just he just doesn't have to do a thing, not in terms of him being like a king, just in terms of he trusts everybody around him to get the best shot possible.
I'm really proud of you, man, and all the stuff that's going on with you. And
Yeah, this is this it's always I'm always like I always try to two things. I always try to be really humble because I'm always worried I'm coming off as an asshole. So I hope I did achieve that. And I'm really thankful. This is always so fun to get interviewed and talk to your friends.
mm,
So thank you for thinking of me.
yeah, of course.